Quick one about John. Well, I'll tell a couple of things that we've done with John. Several years ago, he developed an irregular heartbeat. So we went to the doctor, and he was put on Coumadin for regulating the thickness of the blood, but they did an echocardiogram, found that his ejection fraction was very low. Normal for a man his age is about 72, and his was in the low 30s. So the doctor said there was nothing we could do about that, but I did Reiki. I supplemented his treatments, and I used Reiki every day on John. After a year, we went back to have a second echo, and this time the technicians were whispering and talking to themselves and looking at John, and that afternoon we got a call from, it was Dr. Brett at the time.
The cardiologist.
The cardiologist that they wanted to see us. You know, when you get a call like that, you don't need to worry. Bad news. So I was very nervous, and we went there the next day, and Dr. Brett comes into the waiting room with John's folder, just shaking his head, and looks at us and says, "I can't explain this, but his ejection fraction has gone back up to the 70s. And there is no way this can be. I can understand it going up a few degrees, but from the low 30s to the 70s, that's impossible."
We told him about Reiki. Went in one
Ear and out the other. Okay? But his ejection fraction has stayed way above normal for a man his age. He chops wood, he gardens, he exercises,
I eat.
He uses up the Bowflex upstairs, he eats. He Bowflexes, you know, to build muscles, he body builds. What else does he do?
That's enough.
Does he do?
I sleep, I have a good nap in the
But
afternoon.
what we're saying is his quality of life is incredible.
The main thing that I want to get across is that if you decide that you want to do self-treatment, I highly recommend it because over time you'll feel much, much physically and emotionally better than you would otherwise. Daily treatments, I've done it 97% of the time, and receiving this self-treatment energy has really helped to make it possible for me to live longer, and that's not the important thing. Living better is the more
Exactly,
more
quality
important
of life. No, and it helps to keep your cells organized. When cells are organized and energized, they're much better able to fight problems. So even if you're very healthy right now, that's wonderful. Preserve your health, do the self-treatment routine, keep your cells organized. Female reproductive system is so important for us, you know, as we age, to keep that organized. For men too, the liver, the heart, the lungs. Well, I'm going to teach you in a little bit a technique to manage blood pressure, to dissolve plaque buildup in your arteries. So there's so much you can do to maintain your health. And Reiki works at all levels. It doesn't differentiate between the physical, the emotional, mental, and spiritual. So whatever the nature of the problem may be, it's working. It's working. Practical ways to use self-treatment. If you don't have an hour to do the self-treatment at night, you can break it into chunks. Or you can do that hour at any time of the day. Usually 15-minute chunks work well in the evening. And work maybe on the sleep center if you have trouble falling asleep. John likes to work on his liver at night. So pick an area that has been chronic or that is causing you difficulty sleeping. Work on that. Then in the morning, maybe do a 15 minutes around the head, the eyes, and neck, just to bring energy up to the head right after lunch. And it'll give you energy for the afternoon. Just if you can close your eyes for 10 or 15 minutes after you eat and just have some peace and energize yourself, you'll have a lot of pep for the rest of the day. And then when you come home from work, just take a few minutes and do Reiki.
Yeah, question.
So you don't have, I mean, it isn't, to do them in order is not more
No.
beneficial. And then like last night when I kept falling asleep, if I had just gone to bed and done it in bed and let myself fall asleep on the eyes or the throat, and
That's
then
wonderful.
continued on in the morning, I mean, I could take 3 days to go through the whole pattern. If I did it that way, that would be okay.
And that would be okay. You want to make sure you're doing a complete treatment, okay? So,
In what time span?
even if it takes you a couple of days to do a complete treatment. For example, if I fall asleep in this position, I may, or in this position, I may just go ahead and move down to the heart or work the heart and lungs when I wake up, and then the digestive system after lunch.
I personally like to give myself in chunks if necessary, but a whole treatment every day.
Okay.
I personally believe that is more efficient. Even if I didn't work as much as I could on my liver, that would be all right, because the whole body energizes the whole body.
Are you paying attention, or are you?
No attention. The kind I used to call it automatic concentration. Automatic concentration. So all you have to do is place your hands on yourself and forget about it. Just close your eyes and sleep. There are many people, including us, that do Reiki when we're waiting, for an appointment, or if I'm a passenger driving in a car, a co-pilot, I'll be doing Reiki. Even if I'm the pilot, as long as I'm not on 128, I'll use one hand.
You don't take both hands off the wheel.
Why don't we take another 10 minutes and then we'll start the second pattern.
Taking a break?